Hi everybody, this is Jacob Brindle. I teach 9-12 language arts at Cascade High School, and today I'm going to kind of preview a little bit about how I utilize my version of Socratic Seminars in my senior English, what we call English 4 non-college credit courses here at Cascade. To begin, some of you are familiar with what a Socratic Seminar is. It's a method of questioning and conversation that you use in your classrooms. And what I found, the way we utilize it here is I like to use it with our seniors whenever we're engaging in any kind of text work. And that could be multiple texts in the classrooms. I love using it with, we might have 5 or 6 different books going on at once, as well as whole class text. And for the basics of it, our original setup is we basically prompt the kids with about 2 or 3 kind of open-ended, broad connection type questions. A lot of times these connect back to our central questions for our unit, whatever we're studying. And you can use those same questions even throughout chunks of the text. And I like to give about a week of prep time so kids know what's going to happen. And so they read, they can respond on their own, either handwritten notes, type notes, whatever it is. And on the day of the discussion, I like to set it up with 2 groups. Depends on the number of kids in the class. So if we're kind of 20 or under, we like to do 2 groups. If it's more than that, a lot of times we'll go to about 4 groups. And the idea is that you always have an inner group and an outer group. Inner circle, outer circle, they're kind of connected to each other. And if we can get those numbers even, that's kind of ideal. And the way this would work is the inner group would be kind of the heart of the discussion. So when they're up, it's their turn. So if we have maybe 6 discussion prompts, maybe we give them 3. And when I say we, if I have a co-teacher in here, a support pair, whoever it is, but the adults in the room turn the kids loose. So when it's time for the discussion, say, okay, guys, you're up. And then my voice is off until we're done. And the kids determine when they're done. And so what happened is the kids, they lead themselves. And one of the things they're evaluated on is who's going to step up and kind of assume the facilitator role. Who's going to read the questions, who's going to kind of direct traffic. And at that point, the expectation is everybody responds and shares some thoughts in some capacity to every question. And the idea is also that we'll build off follow-up questions, what'd you think, what'd you think? And this works really well if we have multiple texts going on at the same time, because then they got to explain their own books to somebody else, or those ideas that are found. And those questions, being kind of universally themed, connect to everything. And so the inner group will facilitate that discussion, go with it. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't like putting a time on it. I like to see where it goes. And I found this works really well with kids that, maybe don't respond as well in regular class settings. They don't share, they don't talk. They're seniors, they're ready to be done sometimes. But if you get them going on their own like that, they really kind of take off with it. So I don't like to limit them that way. And when they are finished, and it's clear there's no more follow-up questions, the outer group, it's their time to come in and not necessarily critique the inner group as traditionally would be in some traditional Socratic seminars, but they all are responsible for jotting down 1 or 2 focused follow-up questions for a member of the group. And so if my partner or somebody in the inner group I've been kind of assigned to look at made a note about a character or theme, I might jot that down and ask a very targeted follow-up to see if they can expand on it. And I might share that with other people. And so everybody in the outer group then is expected to talk when everybody's voice this day with some type of specific question to some member of that inner group. And again, we don't have a time limit on that. We just kind of see where that goes as well. And what I found is some of the best learning, whatever concepts we're hitting, whether it's theme, character development, we're looking at connections to our world, you're looking at social issues, whatever it is, they really come out in those seminars and those discussions. And then my role as a facilitator then is obviously I'm taking notes, I'm kind of charting what's been talked about. And I could generate some follow-up, normally, 99% of the time, anything I would have intended for a lesson anyway comes out in the conversation on its own. It's my job then at the end, just kind of remind them, hey, this is something we've talked about. This is an essential standard. This is a question we've hit on already. You guys touched on that, and away we go. And some little tricks I found too is the more you allow kids to be those big facilitators, they enjoy taking that role. You also have to watch out too. Some kids they enjoy maybe not want to use the word dominate, but controlling those conversations. And so sometimes every now and then after we've done a couple, I might predetermine, okay, I want so-and-so, you're going to be the facilitator this time. You're going to be the facilitator this time. Kind of balance that out between who's leading. So it's not always just, maybe a couple of group of guys here. We can spread out over here a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's theirs. They take ownership of it. And in my mind, it's just one of the better tools I found in 19 years of doing this. Number one, engaging kids in dialogue about text and engaging in text. and kind of fleshing out main ideas that you want to teach anyway. So thank you for listening. Again, this is Jacob Brindle, Cascade High School, 912 Lang Arts teacher, talking about my use of Socratic Seminars. Thank you.